Ohio lawmakers are talking about how to hand down harsher punishments to career criminals. It's an attempt by the state's attorney general to crack down on firearms in the wrong hands. Thank you for joining us today at noon. I'm Tracy Townsend. The Violent Career Criminal Act was introduced just this morning. 10 TV's Jim Heath was at that announcement and joins us live in the newsroom with more on how these new rules are aimed at reducing violent crime in our state. Jim.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tracy. Most of the violent crimes in central Ohio are caused by guns, and many crimes, in fact, are committed by a small percentage of repeat violent criminals, the bad guys. Well, new legislation backed by Attorney General Mike DeWine would make a mandatory 11-year sentence for those convicted of illegally possessing a gun if they've had a previous conviction. The Attorney General points to a brand new study that shows 1% of Ohio's population are actually responsible for nearly 6 in 10 violent crimes.
Less than 1% of Ohio population commits 57% of the violent crime. The goal should be to target them, go after them, remove them from society, and so our communities and our families can live.
Spoke to Franklin County Prosecutor Ron O'Brien this morning. He says targeting those who commit gun crimes will reduce violence. That bill, Tracy, will be introduced on Friday.
And Jim, before we let you go, a new public policy poll out just this morning shows 72% of Ohioans support gun background checks, including a majority of independents and Republicans. Does this bill include that as a requirement?
Tracy, no. DeWine and Republican lawmakers very quick to point out several times today that this bill will not go there. With the NRA watching very closely, the GOP has dug in on opposing background checks, and they believe any mention of it in this bill would simply doom its chances. Live in the newsroom, Jim Heath, 10 TV News.